This is page 141 from chapter 6. We're going to go over how to determine the finger numbers for these exercises. If we take a look at number 1, first thing to note is the key signature. The most important thing that we want to do when determining fingering for these is to avoid using the thumb on black keys. So we're going to find out where those white keys are, because those are going to be the islands that our thumb can play on. So if we're looking at number 1 here, D flat, E flat. I'll write the flats in just to simplify, pulling from the key signature. G flat, A flat, which means the F is a white key. They tell us to start with second finger on D flat, which means third finger will end up on E flat. That means our thumb can play the F right there. So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's take a look at the rest of the right hand here. So again, we're looking for where those white keys are. Flat, A flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, C natural, and D flat. So we know we have a white key here as well. Okay. So if we're looking here, second finger was on the G flat. We're going to carry that. No need to change that. So 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. If we use fifth finger on this C, we're not going to be able to get to this D flat. So that means we're going to use our thumb again on the white key, then cross over the second finger. That's the right hand fingering there. If we look at the left hand, I'll do the same thing. Flat, C natural, B flat, A flat, F is a natural, D flat, D flat, D flat. Okay. So for the left hand fingering, the same thing. I'm going to place my thumb on the white key here. That means I'm going to start with 2. Then I'm going to cross under, shift 1, 2, 3. Then this is going down a third, so that means that's going to be 3 to 5. And then this is just an octave at the end, 5, 1, 5. That's number 1. Okay, looking on to number 2. Now we have 5 sharps. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and do all of my cautionary accidentals. That's what it's called when you add accidentals in that's not necessary because it's already indicated in the key signature. I'm going to write them in anyways. And then I've got an E natural, and then I've got the D sharp, C sharp, B natural, A sharp, G sharp. Okay, so my opportunities are here and here. Okay. So let's see how it works out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That works. I'm not going to write the fingerings here because it's pretty self-explanatory. Now I know that I'm going to use 1 here as well. So if I go backwards, 1, then that means this is going to be 2, then 3. So I'm going to shift the third finger here because then that will allow me to naturally use my thumb on the B. And then I'm going to do shifting the third finger again, 3, 2, because here's a chord. They're all sharps. F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. So I'll just do 1, 3, 5 for the triad. Then I'm going to follow that by 1, 3, 5 again. That's a B natural. So F sharp, B natural, and D sharp. And then I have a 7th chord here. 1, 2, 5. I have an F sharp and an A sharp, but an E natural on the top, and then back to 1, 3, 5 here. F sharp and D sharp. If I look at the left hand, starts with just a chord. 5, 3, 1 will be the fingering, and then I'll just stay on 5, 3, 1. Keep in mind D sharp, F sharp, B natural. You can mark those in if you need. D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, they're all sharps. Now here we have 5, 2, 1 because this is the 6/4 inversion for the left hand. So 5, 2, 1. Then we'll have 5, 3, 1. And then here we want to take a look at the scale and say, well, where are the white keys? So again, I'm going to write the cautionary accidentals. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, that's a B natural. I'm going to circle that. C sharp, B natural, A sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and B natural. So those I've circled are where my thumb can be placed. So I'm going to put my thumb on the B, B, and B. And if I just work backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, that means I'll use fourth finger, which is also why 5, 3, 1 works over here, because your fourth finger should already be on the F sharp. So 4, 3, 2, 1, cross over to 2, then you shift back down, so you keep your thumb on the B, and then 2, 3, 2, 1. That's the fingering for number 2. Now let's look at number 3. So here, I only have one flat. I'm in the key of F major. And they've started us off on the thumb on the A. Okay, so that's kind of important. So if our thumb is on A, that means this is still our thumb. This is a B flat. That'll be 2, 1 on the A. And now here's the next thing to keep in mind. This is a G sharp. This is a new measure, so this is no longer G sharp. This is actually a G natural. I'm going to draw the natural sign there. Okay. And if we look forward, we can kind of determine, okay, well, what do we have here? Well, this is a chromatic scale, just like we learned. This is another chromatic scale, and this is another chromatic scale. So let's work from the last chromatic scale backwards. I like to work backwards often. Okay, so third finger on the black keys. So 3 here, 3, and 3. Then we can work backwards from there. So 3, that means this needs to be 1 and 2. 1 on the white key here. And if this is 3, that means that fourth finger makes a lot of sense here, because it uses 4, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, because of the two adjacent white keys, 3. And then here, because our typical chromatic scale finger would have us end on 1, but we don't need to here, especially because we need to shift a little lower. You could end on 1, it's an option. Okay. This is also staccato, so that means you could shift down if you wanted and just do this 2, 1, 2. That's an option. If not, you could also do the reverse, 1, 2, 1, which would involve a crossover. Okay. Now going back just a little bit further, we'll want to use 1 on this G so that we can stretch here. And if we're using the standard fingering for the chromatic scale, this will be 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, like this. If we go back here now, that means 1 is already on the G natural, so we can just do 3. Standard chromatic fingering. If we wanted to even stay with that, you could also use third finger here. So here you have a few options. Left hand's pretty self-explanatory. This will be 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. Next, we're going to take a look at how to play each of these examples.